The lake had always carried stories. My grandfather used to call it a graveyard, with water poured over it, a place where the old voices never died. They just waited under the surface. As a kid, I laughed it off. But last summer, when the heat pressed against the valley and the town's power grid sputtered, a tickety, I decided to test the legend myself. I wasn't looking for trouble. I thought I'd go out on the kayak, drift in the middle, record the sounds, and come back with nothing more than frogs croaking and the soft lap of water against the hull. The moment my paddle touched the water, though, it felt different, thicker somehow. Colder, like the lake wanted me in but also didn't want me back out. Halfway to the center, the moon slipped behind the clouds, and the lake turned into a sheet of black glass. I anchored the kayak with a rope and let myself drift. I pressed record on my phone's mic, leaning close to the water. At first, there was nothing, just air, just silence. Then it came, soft, muffled, like the vibration of someone speaking through a wall. A voice. It wasn't words I could understand, it's just syllables that rolled into each other, guttural 1 second, whispered then the next. A T. My chest tightened, and I almost convinced myself it was the echo of people on the far shore. But the houses had been dark for hours. No power, no parties, just me. The whispers grew louder. They rose like a tide, dozens of voices overlapping, then hundreds. They circled under me, and when I leaned closer, I swore I saw ripples, as though mouths were pressing against the underside of the water, desperate to speak, desperate to rise. The temperature dropped so fast, my breath turned white. My hands shook. My phone screen flickered, static lines crawling across it. Then the kayak rocked, and something massive brushed against the bottom. Not a fish, not in this lake. I gripped the paddle, but when I dipped it, the blade scraped against something hard, like stone, like a structure. I shoved my phone down toward the surface, trying to capture the sound better. Tease, that's when I saw it. A face, pale, bloated, eyes open but clouded. It floated just beneath the surface, inches from my hand. But the face didn't drift away, it held there, as if the water itself clutched it in place. The whispers rose into a chant, and suddenly I could make out words. Not English, not anything I'd heard. But the rhythm was undeniable, a plea, a command. Behind the pale face, others appeared, dozens, then hundreds. They pressed against the invisible barrier of the surface, mouths opening, water bubbling up around me. I wanted to paddle. I wanted to flee, but the kayak was frozen, locked in place. The rope I'd dropped to anchor had tightened. Something below had it, pulling, dragging me down. I screamed, slammed the paddle against the water, but it only echoed. Then the faces below shifted. Their mouths moved in unison, and this time the words made sense. Join us. The rope yanked hard. My body lurched forward. Cold shot through my legs as the kayak dipped, flooding. Clawed at the hull, tried to cut the rope, but my knife snapped against it like it was steel. Handspale, waterlogged, broke the surface. Fingers wrapped around the edges of the kayak. They pulled. The whispers became shrieks, the lake boiling with faces, arms, bodies that weren't alive, but weren't fully gone either. One hand clamped my wrist, shot through me, and I felt my lungs seize, like the water had already filled them. My vision blurred, but I tore free and swung the paddle like a weapon, smashing until the grip loosened. A taste. I don't remember paddling back. I don't remember dragging the kayak to shore. I only remember collapsing in the dirt, coughing until my throat burned, the phone still clutched in my hand. I replayed the recording later. It was all there. Not whispers. not chance. Screams. Thousands of screams, layered on top of each other, echoing from beneath the lake. A cone, beneath the screams, clear as day, that same command. Join us now. I don't go near the lake. No one does. Not since the drowning started again. Every month, another person pulled under. Every time, the rope comes back without them. And the whispers get louder, closer, like they're not waiting beneath the water anymore. They're waiting beneath the town,